I want to tell you a story about me. It's a true story. Okay, I was in a relationship with a girl a long time ago. And the girl's family didn't really talk to me. They weren't interested in my life. They didn't make me feel welcome in the family. Like, when I would go to her family gatherings, you know what a family gathering is? A family gathering is basically where big families get together. Cousins, grandparents, uncles, aunts. Okay, when I would go to her family gatherings, no one would talk to me. No one would really show any interest in my life. And that hurt me. That was a big problem in our relationship. So that was a really bad thing. Why didn't they do that? They should have done that. They should have talked to me. They should have made me feel welcome. Okay, now if you're new to my channel, Mad English TV, you know that, well, maybe you don't know yet, but you will soon find out that I love immigrants. I love people from all different countries, religions. Okay, now maybe one of the reasons I love immigrants so much is because I understand this feeling. Okay, immigrants are sort of like me in the relationship. Immigrants are new in Canada. This is not their home. This is not their place. And they don't really feel accepted. They don't feel like they belong here. Okay, so that is a big problem. Look, Canada is a land of diversity, right? Look, we have people from China, India, Mexico. We have all kinds of people. But the problem is that none of these groups know each other. None of these groups talk to each other. Okay? Canada is actually a very divided country. I mean, everyone thinks Canada is such a great country, right? A beacon for the rest of the world. This is how a multicultural society should be. Actually, no, it's not how a multicultural society should be. In all my years of living in Calgary, I don't think I've ever seen a Chinese person and an Indian person talking to each other. Okay, Indians live in the northeast, Chinese live in the northwest part of the city. And I've talked to immigrants. I always ask them, do you have any English friends? Most of the time, they say no, I don't. I ask them, have you ever been in an English speaker's house? No, they've never been invited into an English speaker's house. You know, has any English speaker, like a natural born Canadian, have any of them like talked to you and tried to develop any sort of friendship? And they say no. So that's a big problem. Okay, and at Mad English TV, I want to solve some of the world's problems. Okay, and this is a big problem. So we need to build some bridges and heal this divide. We need to bring healing to Canada, emotional healing, racial healing to Canada. Okay, now how are we going to do this? How are we going to solve these problems? Well, it takes effort on both parts. Okay, so immigrants need to make an effort, and us, natural born Canadians, we need to make an effort. Now, I already made a video talking to immigrants about this problem. It was a very passionate video. I said some things that, maybe people won't like, but it's truth. Okay, I like speaking the truth. So it takes effort from both sides. Okay, I've already talked to the immigrants. Now, in this lesson, I want to talk to native, natural-born Canadians, Canadians who have been here for a long time. What can you do? What can you do to help solve this problem? Well, I just want to briefly tell you what both sides are feeling. What is the problem? Okay, most Canadians think immigrants are not doing enough to assimilate. Okay, there are studies showing this. Most Canadians feel this way. They want immigrants to do more to fit into Canadian culture, the Canadian way of life. Okay, so that's how Canadians feel. Immigrants feel as though they're trying hard, but they don't really feel welcomed. and accepted. They don't feel like they belong here. And that's really sad. Okay, they should feel like they're part of Canada. Okay, Canadians are afraid that foreign values will take over our country. This is a very real fear. Foreign values are going to start replacing, because immigration is so high these days, right? You see all these people with brown skin walking around the supermarkets, on the streets. Oh, I'm scared. You know, they might be changing our values. Okay, so it's a very real fear. Okay, we just want to acknowledge that. Now, immigrants are afraid that they will be persecuted for following their traditions and values. A lot of immigrants are really afraid that they're going to get deported. If they do something wrong, bad things are going to happen. They don't know the system. They're afraid. So that's a very real fear that I want to acknowledge. Okay, now a simple thing that you can do to help immigrants feel more relaxed, feel more at home in Canada, just say hi. Hi, welcome to Canada. Okay, try to strike up a conversation with someone at a store. For example, I've done that. I've been shopping and then, I'm near an immigrant and, they might ask me a question or I ask them a question. And then I start talking with them and I say, hey, oh, you're new to Canada. Welcome here. Welcome to Canada. How are you doing so far? Why did you come to Canada? Where are you from? Ask them some questions. They will feel so happy. Every time I've talked to immigrants like that, they just love it. They love it. Okay, so immigrants are very friendly people. All these people, Muslims, Hindus, people coming from India, Mexico, China, they're friendly people. Okay, so if you talk to them, they're going to be friendly. You're going to be surprised how much they give you. You give them this much, they will give you this much. They're very friendly people. Okay, now immigrants just want to fit in. They just want to be a part of Canadian life. Okay, but they don't know how. They need someone to hold their hand and say, let me teach you about Canadian life. So this would be great if you said, hey, would you like to go to a hockey game with me? Hey, I've got an extra ticket. You want to go to a hockey? They would love it. They want to fit in. They want to experience Canadian life. They want to have a Canadian friend. They just don't know how. So you need to help them. You could say this, hey, would you like to come over for a barbecue tonight? Maybe you're afraid that, they might not. They might have a special diet. They might not eat pork. They might not. So but don't let that stop you. You can just ask them, hey, would you like to come over for a barbecue? Do you have any dietary restrictions? Do you eat pork? Oh, okay. You don't eat pork? Just don't cook pork. Make beef, okay? Or if they're a vegetarian, I don't know, just make a few sacrifices, right? Make them feel welcome. I've done that. So if I can do it, anybody can do it. Just be friendly to immigrants. Okay, now I think immigrants are also one of the solutions to a big problem in Canada, and that problem is loneliness. I don't know if you really realize how big of a problem this is for natural-born Canadians. Go to a shopping mall in the morning, usually in the morning is the best time, and look around in the food court. You'll see lots of older people, single people, just sitting there. They might be looking around, people watching. We call that people watching, okay, where you just sit somewhere and you watch people. Or they might be reading a newspaper or something. That's just their daily routine. They don't have any friends. There are so many Canadians that don't have any friends. Look, immigrants will be your friend. Teach them some English. Help them with different situations. If they need to go to a doctor. So many of these simple things that you find easy, immigrants find very hard. So look, help them. Help them. You'll feel good. You'll make some friends. You'll learn about their culture. Ask them about their culture. They're going to give you food. They're going to like you, and they're going to like I said, if you give them this much, they're going to give you back this much. In my experience, that's the case. So just be friendly to immigrants. Look, just talk to them. Try to strike up a conversation. Say hi, be friendly, and they're going to be friendly back to you. Now, if you think, why can't immigrants just fit in? Why can't they just try harder to fit in? Yeah, like I said, I already made a video telling them very directly why some Canadians hate immigrants and what they need to do. They need to try harder to assimilate. A lot of immigrants who come here, they don't try. There's so many immigrants in Calgary, in Canada as a whole, who don't speak English. They don't even try to speak English. You know, in my last video, I used the word rape. You know, I said a lot of immigrants come to Canada to rape our country. Yeah, that happens sometimes. They're not interested in Canadian life. They just want to use Canada for the financial success. A lot of people feel that way, and that's real. Some immigrants do that. But I think most of the time, they don't want to. They want to fit in, but they don't know how. So you need to help them figure out how to fit in. And you can do that by just talking to them. They need your help. Okay, so here's what I would like to ask you to do. This is very hard. I want to ask you to make the first move. Okay, they are in our country. They're new people in our country. They don't know anything. They're probably scared. They don't know how to make friends here. You know, they're in our territory. So we have the responsibility to make the first move and say, hi, welcome here. Just like in the relationship I talked about that didn't go so well. It was her family's responsibility to say, hey, welcome here. Who are you? Where are you from? Like, wouldn't you want to know that if a guy was dating your sister, your daughter, your cousin? Wouldn't you want to get to know the person? Well, in my case, that wasn't the case. So, you know, that was really unfortunate. So don't make the immigrants make the first move. That's like asking me to make the first move at the family. Look, I'm in a foreign territory. It's scary. I don't know anybody. They're all relaxed. They're laughing. They're talking to each other. It was very awkward for me to have to sort of poke in. Hey, how are you? Hey, good. Where are you? What are you doing? What do you do in life? Where are you from? Okay, it was uncomfortable. I was shy. Immigrants are shy in Canada most of the time. Okay, so make the first move. Try anyway. So I want to know, what are you going to do to make immigrants feel welcome in Canada? Let me know your ideas. What have you done? What have you maybe failed in? Maybe you tried and you failed and you gave up. Don't give up. Keep trying and keep trying. You're going to succeed, and they need it. They want it. It's the right thing to do. Okay, so hey, let me know your ideas down there in the comments, and I'll see you over in the next episode of Mad English TV. Take care.